Hey everybody, it's me William, and today I have a little bit of a special guest today, so introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Matt Jarbo. I run a YouTube account called Three Buck Theater, and thanks for having me on, Bob.
So today I just want to talk about the movie news and and your take about the Snyder Cut and what you think HBO Max is gonna be doing in the future. So have you got the chance to go on HBO Max?
Yeah, I have HBO Max because I wanted to support it after they announced the Snyder Cut, and they had a really good deal for the first year. Like $12 a month isn't bad. I haven't gone on it as much as I'd like, mostly because it's not available on Roku, and I
Yeah.
have two Roku TVs. So I'm like, well, I can't watch it where I want to watch it, and I work on my computer all the time, so I don't just want to sit on my computer and watch it here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you excited for the Snyder Cut?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I was, like I always knew it existed in its concept, but I was unsure if we were ever going to see it, hit the actual light of day at some point, just because of the corporate politics. Warner Brothers was in a much different place before AT&T took over, and I was really surprised that AT&T cared as much as they do, because normally these companies don't get involved in stuff like this. But I think they see that there's value in the movement that Snyder has helped spur on, and that it can be a really good way of giving back, which is something that a lot of fans want and they respond to exceptionally positively to.
Yeah, like this morning I went on Twitter and the headlining trend today was that Ben Affleck was gonna play Batman again, and everybody kept on saying, we have the resources that he was gonna return, and I said I don't think he's gonna return.
I know today they were doing a big like hashtag Batfleck social media move, and the reason why they were doing that was to bring awareness of trying to get Ben Affleck to come back as Batman. And so, and again, that's one of the things that the Snyder Cut movement has been really good at. Has been working, to like coordinating these efforts that get the attention of AT&T. Because if you recall, as soon as they announced the Snyder Cut was coming in 2021, everyone all of a sudden turned to like David Ayer's Suicide Squad cut, going like, "Well, release the Ayer cut," you know. And now it's like bring Batfleck back, and so there's a lot of enthusiasm, there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of jubilation in regards to this movement. And the thing is, AT&T is very, I personally think they're interested in really giving the fan base what they want, because they know, if you look at Warner Brothers as a studio, when it comes to franchises that bring in the big bucks, they don't necessarily have as much as they used to. And with Marvel pulling in as much money as Marvel does, DC, Warner Media, AT&T, they want a bit of that money. I mean, AT&T dropped 103 million or billion dollars to purchase Time Warner to get access to all this stuff, because they wanted to get in on the streaming, they wanted to get in on the movie stuff, and they wanted to use their telecom abilities to be able to spread it around. Kind of like, Comcast doing the Peacock network, that's NBC and Universal. Same thing. They want to work with the cellular company in order to put it out there. So because mobile viewing, mobile watching is up, you know, and that's what people watch on. Like on YouTube, I think it's like most people watch via mobile devices these days, or non PC devices. And so you can find ways to really reach a large audience with that, but it's also got having to find the right kind of content. And the DCEU, which is now canon, by the way, I don't know if you saw that. Old Warner Brothers never wanted to call it the DCEU. Sorry if there's a truck driving by. It's very hot where I'm at, so my window's open. They didn't want to call it the DCEU. They wanted to call it Worlds of DC, which no one liked. No one liked the name Worlds of DC. Everyone called it the DCEU. And as a result of that, like now HBO Max, when they launched it, they have a whole DC extended universe section, which confirms that the branding of DCEU is now considered canon, and that started with Zack Snyder, and that's continuing with the Snyder Cut. So we're in a position where it's going to be very good, I think.
Like to be honest,
Sorry for that long explanation.
I'm just excited for DC to do the Snyder Cut, and I'm really excited for DC fandom in on August 22nd. I think that will be one of the most busy and one of the most exciting events we have seen ever this year, because Marvel hadn't really put anything in yet for Comic Con at home. So like with DC throwing the extra mile here and telling the fan, listen, we have something for you. It's really good.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I've been to Comic Con a bunch. If I was going next month, it would have been my 20th time going to Comic Con. So I've attended. I'm very much a Comic Con veteran. And I love going every year. The thing, yeah, it's like Comic Con at home. We don't know what's going to happen with that when it comes to, let's say, this DC fandom event. Like, yeah, again, AT&T, they understand. Like, they are savvy to social media. They're savvy to internet culture, surprisingly. And that's, again, that's a weird thing to say about a telecom company, is that they're very savvy to social media. And in a way that's not just like, let's put out the memes, like Wendy's social media, you know? They actually seem to kind of get what people want. They know that there's this pandemic. They know that people are stuck at home. So screw it. Like, let's just do this big event and we'll put it all together. I mean, and it's not going to cost them anything. You know, going to Comic Con, in doing the Hall H reveal that they do every year for Warner Brothers, that costs them millions and millions and millions of dollars. This isn't going to cost them a fraction of that. You know, everyone's going to be on a Zoom like we are right now. They're going to be patching in, doing live streams. All of us on YouTube are going to be like live streaming the live streams while we comment live about the live streams, you
Yeah,
know,
like
reacting to the news as it.
yeah,
So, it,
yeah, but like I'm just really excited for it, because I've been getting into watching DC shows, and I'm just starting to get into watching Doom Patrol on HBO Max, and DC doing something completely out of the box.
well, I mean, HBO Max, yeah, or I should say Doom Patrol, that actually started under the old leadership, because if you go back to like 2017 when they announced DC Universe was going to be coming, that was their way of trying to like take on Netflix and Hulu by offering a very curated experience for hardcore DC fans. And I'll tell you this, I had DC Universe. I was actually one of the first people to pre-order it. I got like, you know, a good deal on it, and it came out. I watched it a handful of times. I just never found myself feeling the need to go in there. I read, you know, I watched some Batman here and there. I read some comics here and there, but it just never made its way into being part of the lineup. You know, like because when you're distracted by Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, going to that kind of curated service is great for a specific reason. But it never got like they didn't launch with Titans. They didn't launch with Harley Quinn. They didn't launch with Doom Patrol. It all came later,
Yeah.
and that was a problem because it had nothing. Like the Mandalorian for Disney Plus launched, and like bam, Baby Yoda within the first hour of the service going live, and the internet blew up, and it just kept going and going and going. AT&T, I think at this point realizes that that is, of course, like how it's going to maintain popularity. So it's like Doom Patrol, for example, season 2 just dropped, but they only dropped the first 3 episodes, and then after that, it's going to go week to week, and that's really good. Netflix is like they dump so much content that people, I think, just lose interest. You know, and so at least with this now, they can build and build and build. It's a smarter move leading into something like DC fandom, because I think by the time fandom comes out, when it happens, that there's going to be, I think that there's going to be what, like the end of the Doom Patrol season should coalesce with that same around that same time. So if they're doing a Doom Patrol season 3 announcement, then would be the time, because you're at the season finale. The Doom Patrol season 2 hype is high. Why not, you know, get all those fans to go to this free online event and watch it? They're all going to talk about it. It's just smart business in 2020. And surprisingly, again, a telecom company is behind it. And it's such a weird thing for me to say. But yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Like to be honest, like with me, I'm a movie reviewer. I post movie reviews. I do movie.
Oops, hold on a second. I lost you. Talk again.
So I do
There we
movie.
go.
So I post movie reviews on Twitter, Instagram. So you know I'm a movie poster. So like so I'm in the movie world and so like that. So meeting all the hype involving movies and entertainment news, it makes me happy because this year hasn't been the best year for nobody, especially for the movie company and especially for Marvel or Disney, because I feel like Disney and Marvel had been having a really bad year.
Well, yeah, and it's not their own. I mean, there's nothing they can do about it. You know,
No,
as
they
a
can't.
as a person who loves going to the movies, I haven't gone to a theater since oh, when was it? Sonic the Hedgehog in February was the last time I went to go see a movie. So, you know, and I'm waiting for these films to come out. The summer movie season's been thrown off. I mean, as a YouTube pundit who talks about movie news, there's nothing really happening right now. You know, outside of like just speculation. You know, I was just told, like, you know, one of the online scoopers was like, oh, if they can't get Michael Keaton to come back as Batman, then they're going to try to go get Christian Bale to come back as older Batman for Batman Beyond. And I'm like, Christian, what? We're 8 years past the Dark Knight Rises. Christian Bale still looks like Christian Bale. You know, he's not like anywhere near age appropriate. He's still like 25 years away from being age appropriate. So it doesn't make any sense to do that. Um, you know, but right now it's all dead. It's all the information. It's there's nothing going on. So yeah, it's kind of disheartening because there's nothing. There's stuff to get excited for, but everything is so far down the line. It just kind of like sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the most disappointing thing is that earlier this year and during the Super Bowl we got a little bit of a little bit of sneak peek for Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision, and now all the fans are saying, oh, we're not gonna get it this year. Disney, we made that it's not gonna look good for any of us. So I said, I know Mandalorian coming out October, it already confirmed. So like I said this year for TV shows in Denver, nothing is come out. So how are you gonna attract people to watch TV or even get excited for anything coming out with all these speculations?
I think like yeah, you know, a lot of these companies have shot stuff for this year, so there's stuff that's still going to be coming. What the bigger problem is going to be next year and the year after that, as we start seeing the consequences of the shutdowns, of the delays. I mean, there's a reason why they're delaying Tenant until mid-August now. Wonder Woman pushed back to November. Top Gun pushed back to Christmas. All of these movies are that should have already been out or on their way of coming out are now being delayed, which means that everything else that was already being shot or has been shot that's currently in post production will also be delayed. What I think we're going to see a fair amount of, and this is what I've been seeing from across from some of the smaller outlets, has been horror movies are going to be making a comeback, and they're going to drive-ins because drive-ins are open, and
Yeah.
people can go to drive-ins because you sit in your car and watch a movie. So we're going to see a bit of that. We're going to see a bit of the resurgence of the popularity of some of those films because they're cheaper to make. They are cheaper to make, and they can get out. The distribution methods for those things are digital anyway, and so at this point, you know, we can see like a lot of those kind of movies doing well. I do think that eventually we're going to kind of hit a stalemate for a little while. And I don't know what that's going to do for these companies or what that's going to do for us here on YouTube. You know, as we wait for the next thing to happen, it's going to be very interesting to see where things go. I don't. It's going to return to normal, but it's going to be a rough. You know, at max, I think 18 months. It's going to be pretty rough. But the cool thing is there's always a backlog of content to watch, right?
Yeah.
So there's things you haven't seen. So now is the time. Instead of going, I can't see this movie I want to see. You have the opportunity to go back and watch something that you haven't seen, to go and catch up on something that you haven't seen or that you put down. And that is going to be, I think, like the only good thing about the situation. I know a lot of people on Netflix have already binged through a lot of the shows that they had in their backlog because they were stuck at home for a few months. But the thing is, there's still a ton of content out there. There's always more content to watch. We have 100 years and plus of movies, and a lot of them are on streaming. So there's always something to check out. The problem, though, is that what you have like this kind of like paralysis. It's called analysis paralysis to an extent. I might be misusing the term, but it's just kind of like too many options. Okay, I think this is the best way to say it. Like, you know how you go to Netflix and you're like, okay, I want to watch a movie on Netflix, and you spend 20 minutes surfing for something to watch.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, I've already wasted all the time that I had, so I'll just watch something short, like a show I've already seen.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. And I think like that is where I talk about the analysis paralysis. You kind of just keep going and going and going, analyzing each movie, waiting for the next one, the perfect one, and you end up just kind of burning yourself out. We're going to need to like have people, and this might be our job as YouTubers, to be honest with you, it might be our job to start looking at some of these other things and trying to like promote them and go, well, we have nothing new, so why don't we talk about things that we haven't seen, or talk about things that we could watch together? Like quarantine streams are a big thing, but the quarantine streams are like big budget movies, like, oh, let's go and watch through Avengers Endgame together. It's like, that's fun, but we've already all seen Avengers Endgame. Why not something that we haven't seen? Why not go and find like a low budget comedy that's on Netflix, a straight to video comedy, or a thriller, or a drama or something, and put those movies out there to give them the space they need to maybe find an audience. And that does, that's kind of what I'm working on right now, is trying to figure out a way to incorporate all that. And yeah, so I think it's going to be a tough couple months too, but I think we'll all be fine getting through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the movie I've been trying to recommend people to watch, like the other movie on Netflix called Terrifier. It's a low budget horror movie involving a clown, a mime to Art the Clown, and it's a really interesting low budget movie. It had terrible acting in it. But I've been trying to get people to watch it and really talk about the movie and stuff like that. And also I may have hit a gold budget here on Instagram, so I may do like the one-on-one interview with the actor who played the clown for my YouTube channel, so my YouTube can go up. But like, I'm trying to watch different movies and to try to keep myself busy, because I love movies. I love movies, and also I'm a big movie fan, so I don't trust Rotten Tomato or any website involving that what's that website that website that
like Metacritic, or I know you said Rotten Tomatoes. I get what you're saying though. It's like you don't trust those kind of aggregate sites.
Yeah, I don't trust any of those websites, and also involving a website that had been on everybody's mind, a website, all these websites that do clickbait, and I don't trust it. I tell them, if you don't have the right information, don't give it to me.
Yeah, I know you're talking about We Got This Covered, right?
Yeah, like my friend.
They just make it up as they go along. And the thing is, a lot of these websites do that. They do that because they need to get the clicks, they need to get the views, and they're not getting them. So that's how they decide to do it. It's pretty bad. But actually, I do have to go myself.
Yeah.
I have to get running because I have my own stream to get to here in a little bit. Some things to take care of. But Bob, thank you for having me on, dude. It was a fun conversation. We'll have to do this again.
We do.
And good luck with your channel. You're very dedicated to movies, dude. And right now we need more positivity in movies. So keep up the good work on that one.
Thank you. It was nice having you here.
Thank you very much.
Bye.